Welcome to today's deep dive. Imagine trying to translate a dense 500-page technical manual into a completely different language.
Right, which is a massive job on its own.
Exactly, but doing it flawlessly in under 70 milliseconds without dropping a single syllable.
Yeah, that's wild.
But that is essentially the monumental task happening inside the hardware we've pulled for you today. It's the Bolin Technology EG40DH Edge DanteAV-H decoder.
Which currently runs for $4,395 at HDTV Supply, by the way.
Right. And to really make sense of that price tag, you have to look at this device as a high-speed universal translator for professional video.
Because without that translation layer, a massive flow of high-end network data is just a fire hose of digital noise to a traditional video monitor.
Yeah, monitors just can't read it.
Exactly. So the core mission of the EG40DH is to take a DanteAV-H video flow coming in over a standard 1 gigabit network, decode it, and translate it into ultra-high definition video.
Wait, so we're talking full 4K resolution here?
Oh yeah, up to 4K resolution running at a smooth 60 frames per second.
Wow. A full 4K 60 stream over a standard 1 gig network.
Yeah.
I've seen regular video calls choke on way less bandwidth than that.
It is impressive. And to carry your translator analogy a step further, it's not just translating the vocabulary of the video, it's pushing it out to HDMI 2.0 and 12G SDI simultaneously.
So you can feed standard consumer monitors via HDMI and massive broadcast switchers via SDI at the exact same time.
Right, without needing an extra converter box in the middle.
Oh, nice.
Plus, it's perfectly syncing and embedding the Dante audio. And it can even take a lower resolution stream like 720p or 1080p and dynamically upscale it to 4K 60.
Okay, my immediate thought here is a box that small doing billions of calculations a second.
Right.
It's going to catch fire. How does it handle that kind of thermal load?
Well, it's a critical issue, right? Especially in a 247 broadcast environment where thermal throttling means dropped frames and dead air.
Right, which you absolutely cannot have.
Exactly. So Bolin manages that physical stress first through the chassis itself. It's built from solid metal with a specialized heat dissipation surface.
So it's essentially acting as a passive heatsink.
Yeah, exactly. But the active mechanism is a 3-level automatic cooling fan. It continuously monitors the internal silicon temperature and scales the fan RPMs dynamically.
Oh, gotcha. So it keeps the hardware from melting down while, I assume, deliberately keeping the acoustic noise low.
Right, so it doesn't bleed into any nearby studio microphones.
That makes total sense. But okay, processing all that video while embedding audio, how does this not introduce a massive audio-video sync delay?
That is the big question.
In a live broadcast, if the speaker's lips don't match the audio by even a fraction of a second, the whole production looks incredibly amateur.
Yeah, that brings us to latency, which really is the underlying metric for everything this box does.
Right.
So when you pair this decoder with Bolin's fast HEVC cameras, it achieves an end-to-end latency of under 4 frames.
Wait, let me do the math on that. Under 4 frames at 60 frames per second, that means less than 70 milliseconds of delay.
Exactly. By the time the encoder sends the signal, this decoder practically has it on the screen in real time.
That is wild.
And the HEVC codec handles the compression so efficiently that the data travels over that 1 gig infrastructure without bottlenecking. And speaking of infrastructure, it relies heavily on PoE plus power or power over Ethernet.
Oh man, which is a huge operational upgrade for the crew running physical cables on a studio floor.
It really is.
You're running one single Ethernet cable for all that heavy 4K data and the power supply, so you're instantly having your cable clutter.
Right, though it does actually include a standard 12-volt DC input as well.
Okay, so what happens if you plug in both?
Well, the internal logic defaults to the DC power as the priority.
Yeah.
And if someone, say, trips over that DC cable and rips it out, the system automatically fails over to the Ethernet power in a fraction of a second.
Oh wow, keeping the broadcast alive no matter what.
Exactly. And because it integrates directly with Dante controller software, it just appears as an assignable node within your existing Dante ecosystem.
There is one specific port on the back that caught my eye. The specs list. A dedicated intercom mic input.
Oh yeah, that's a great feature.
I'm just trying to picture how that changes the workflow. Does that mean the control room can just talk straight through this box?
Yeah, it completely bypasses the need to set up a secondary dedicated intercom system.
Oh.
Your control room plugs a mic in, and they have direct synced audio communication with the camera operator on the floor, routed through the exact same network infrastructure.
That's incredibly streamlined. So for you listening, what we are really looking at here is a highly efficient bridge.
Definitely.
The EG40DH takes modern IP network flows and converts them into formats traditional displays can actually use, with heavy cooling and virtually zero latency.
Which kind of forces us to look at the trajectory of live production as a whole.
Right.
We now have a single plug-and-play box on a standard 1 gig network handling 4K 60 video with under 70 milliseconds of delay.
Yeah. And if decentralized IP networks can handle that much heavy lifting flawlessly, it really makes you wonder.
About what?
Well, it's only a matter of time before the massive multi-million-dollar broadcast control rooms of today become completely obsolete, replaced by just a few laptops and decoders scattered across the globe. We will leave you to chew on that.